Hey everybody, thank you for joining me once again for Epic Fail Sessions. You know me, I'm Craig, and today instead of telling you guys something, I wanted to ask you guys something. What's your story? See, when you become a Christian, first off, everybody has their own story, but when you become a Christian, when you give your life to God, you have a more important story, your testimony about how you came to God, what your life was like before that, and what your life has been up until now, what God's done in your life, through you, for you, and you know, I remember a while ago I did share with you guys my testimony, but if I haven't, then I'll share it now. Growing up, I was really a real Kolohe kid. I wasn't, never really paid attention in school. Didn't really do too good. I barely passed high school, barely graduated, and after high school, I got into a little bit of trouble. A few years ago, I got arrested twice for shoplifting, and I got into a car accident. But the entire time, well, actually, let me backtrack a bit. After high school, I went immediately into college, going to Hawaii Community College, and I had, up until that point, I'd known about God, but I never knew God, and I never had a relationship with Him. I wasn't, I had Bibles, but I never read them. And it was just, that was the way it all was for a long time. And then one day I'm up at the University of Hawaii Hilo campus, and I have my, at the time, this was years ago, I had my CD player, and I don't know who uses those now, but I had a CD player right then. I was listening to music, and in front of the library there was this couple tables set up right across from the doors of the library, and there was a sign on top of the table that said "Free College Survival Kits," and I wondered what that was. And from afar, I could see that there was a stack of CDs on the table, and I could see like these bags, looked like these huge mesh net bags, the kind that college students use for laundry and stuff, and had like books and stuff like that inside. But I kept seeing the CD stack, and I was thinking, okay, they got music, maybe I can go and check it out. And I didn't know what kind of music it was, so I go to the table and I asked them what kind of music is on the CD, and they said Christian music. Immediately I went, that's okay, and I walked away. Because up until that point, my whole viewpoint, if I heard the words Christian music, I thought, people in like robes and a pipe organ in the background or off to the side, and just old style, Christian music, hymns, stuff like that. So I never really got into it like that. That's not my genre. It's not my age range. So I walked away, but I kept walking back and forth, and eventually I went back and asked them, could I have one of their college survival kit bag stuff, and they gave me one. It was free, and I went out to the side and I opened the case, put the CD in, and surprisingly, that one CD, which is ironically called the One Answer CD, it blew away my whole viewpoint of Christian music. There was like Christian reggae, Christian rock on there, contemporary worship, and it was amazing songs. It was awesome. I loved it. And from that day on, after that, like I was there the whole day. That they were there sitting at the tables and handing out those kits and everything. And like there was a CD, there was a Case for Faith book by Lee Strobel, and a bunch of other little pamphlets of information in the bag, along with a New Testament Bible. So there's all of that in the bag, and I was just listening to the CD, listening to the music, and there's nothing in my head. And it after they were done, they invited me to come down to the BCM, the Baptist Collegiate Ministries. There was a house with a parking lot next to it, right across from the UH old gym. And ironically, in the 7th grade, I got busted in that parking lot by a cop from cutting school. Small world, huh? Yeah. So we go back down there, and as we're walking down, I see the house, I see the parking lot, and I start laughing. And the guy I was making friends with, he told me, he asked me what was so funny, and I told him, and he started laughing. He's like, what? I was like, yep. 7th grade, cut school with my friends, and we were crossing the street to go down the road, and right when we got in the middle of the street, right in front of the parking lot, a cop car turned the corner, and stopped right into the parking lot, got busted. So I started hanging out over there after classes, sometimes while I'm supposed to be in class, and I would just hang out. And they wouldn't really try and talk to me. They just let me hang out. It was okay. And after a while, someone invited me to go to church, so I started going to church and gave my life to God in 2003. And I was bouncing back and forth from all these different churches, just going from church to church. One whose name I won't mention, but they're called. And all these other churches, and then for most recently up to now, I haven't been, my walk with God has been like off and on repeatedly, mostly, well actually yeah, because of me. I can't say mostly because of me, because it's all because of me, that my walk with God has been off and on recently, for a while now, past few years. And I just recently, last week, I rededicated my life back to God. Well, last week Wednesday, I gave my life back to God, and I still screw up from time to time, but God is still with me, and I was on the streets for almost a year, but nobody, when I was sleeping in the park, nobody bothered me. God was keeping watch over me. When I got into the car accident, my daughter was in the car, and my friend was in the car too, and my daughter was 100% completely fine. I just had chest pain from the airbag in the seatbelt, and my friend had a scar on his head, but everybody was alive, and so God was watching over us. And I just it's a rocky walk for me, put it that way. And that's my testimony. I was, besides being homeless, I contemplated suicide 3 times, tried it once, ate out of trash cans twice. I would hustle by playing music for money to get cash for food or whatever. And that's pretty much it. Got arrested twice for shoplifting. It's pretty much my message in a nutshell. So that's my testimony. But my question is, what's your testimony? As a Christian, one of your biggest and easily accessible evangelism tools is your testimony, your story, like how I shared mine with you. Your story of what your life was before you came to Christ, how you came to Christ, and what your life has been up until this point. And because it's easier to do that, just kick back and talk story with somebody and share what you went through, because it'll help them relate more to you and make them feel more comfortable to talk to you about God and whatever their feelings are about it. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today, is not only my story, but also ask you, what's your story? Everybody has a story. What's yours? I'm going to catch you guys next time. I'm Craig, aka Havika. Peace out, y'all. God bless.